Welcome to Oracle Application Express, Creating Mobile Applications, the Apex Mobile Theme. Out of the box, Oracle Application Express contains one theme for creating mobile applications. As we've seen with themes, you're not limited to the themes that are provided out of the box in Oracle Application Express. You can modify those themes to your exact needs. Let's take a look at the theme that comes with Application Express for developing mobile applications. I'm going to log into my Apex workspace. And if you remember from the earlier lessons, if we create a new application from scratch, one of the questions asks us what type of user interface we want to use. We can say we either want to use a desktop theme or a jQuery mobile theme. In many applications, you'll have more than one theme associated with your application. By default, when you go through the Create Application wizards, you have to pick one or the other. We're going to go into our existing application that we've been working with as part of our tutorial and add the mobile theme to the existing theme inside of our application. I'm going to cancel out of this wizard, and I'm going to go back to our movie tracker application that we've been working with up until this point. If I'm on the main page for the application, I have a button here called Edit Application Properties. I have a User Interface tab, and then I can go to the user interfaces associated with this application by clicking this link here. As you can see, I have the desktop theme already associated with this application. I can add a new user interface by clicking this button here. Since I already have a desktop interface associated with this application, the only option available to me is to pick a jQuery mobile smartphone theme. You can have one theme of each type associated with your application. Out of the box, Oracle contains one mobile theme with Oracle Application Express. Once I select that, I can edit the application properties, look at the user interface, go down to the user interfaces, and now you see that I have one desktop theme associated with this application and one mobile theme. Here's an example of what page 2 looks like inside of my Android emulator. As you can see, all the information is there, but it's not formatted very well. I can click on Actions from my interactive report. I can use the query bar. I can scroll to see the information that's contained in page 2 here on my report, but it's not very user-friendly for a mobile device. Let's take this interactive report that we have on page 2 now and create a mobile version of it using the templates that come along with our Oracle Application Express. Let's create a new page, and as you can see in the wizard, there's an additional prompt that asks me if I want to use a desktop or a jQuery mobile smartphone user interface. The jQuery mobile smartphone user interface doesn't have as many options as the desktop. So as you can see here, I have 15 different wizards that I can use if I'm going to use a desktop interface. But when I click jQuery mobile smartphone, I only have 11. I can click a report, and you'll also notice that I don't have an interactive report option available for a mobile interface. I can create a list view report. I'm going to take the SQL from the interactive report and just cut and paste it here. Apex is going to prompt you for different types of columns inside of your mobile application. Get information about each one of these columns by hovering your mouse over each one of the headings and then clicking to get information. So the text column specifies the database column that contains the main content for the list view entry. Movie ID really doesn't mean anything to our end users, so I'm going to change it to title. The supplemental information column specifies the database column that contains additional supplemental information for this list view entry. In this example, we don't really have anything that has supplemental information, so we're just going to leave this blank. The counter column specifies the database column that contains the value to display in the count bubble. For this, I'm also going to use title. I can have a link target that links me to another page inside of my application. In previous lessons, we've gone over how to construct a URL using all of the different parameters that we see here inside of the URL in an application. Since we don't have any other mobile pages defined yet, it doesn't make sense for me to create any links to any other pages, so I'm just going to leave that blank for now. Everything looks okay. We can say create. When we run the page, it doesn't particularly look very good inside of the browser. This is because we're using all of the jQuery mobile elements to create a mobile page. So it looks a little goofy inside of a browser, but if we look at it inside of our emulator, it should look a lot better. One of the things that you'll notice that's a little different is that even though I'm logged in as a developer to this application, I don't have the menu along the bottom of the screen here, so I can navigate throughout my application easily. That navigator menu along the bottom of the screen does not show up on mobile pages, even if you're looking at them in a browser. So if you remember from previous lessons, when we took a look at this URL that is constructed, the second element that we see here in the URL is the page number. So I'm going to go into my Android emulator and I'm going to run page 10. It's hard to see, but here's page number 10. I'm going to click the little run icon and we'll see the mobile version of this page. That looks a lot nicer. Here's a perfect example of how to create mobile-based applications inside of Oracle Application Express very easily. What we're doing is we're creating a web-based application that is optimized for web browsers running on mobile devices. The URL for this particular application automatically gets hidden as we're looking inside the emulator. This gives us a little more real estate for us to do what we need to do inside the application. It's also formatted a lot better. When we looked at desktop-based Apex pages inside of our emulator, it didn't format very well. We had to scroll around the page to see the information. Because we're using all of the jQuery mobile APIs and widgets as part of our page now, the formatting is a lot better.